UK murder suspects arrested in Ireland before release without charge court hears. See, this only came to light in the UK court system. No, there wasn't Irish media or mainstream media journalists doing some investigative journalism. No. This came to light through the UK court system because I believe this guy who handed himself in, one of the four fellas who wanted for murder, he handed himself in and he's going through trial at the minute. So UK court has heard how four suspects, one of whom is on trial for the murder of a young man in Leeds 2023, came to Ireland on a ferry shortly after the killing. The four men, Rani Wilkes, Caleb Awe, Aqua Jeffers and Enham Nishat, boarded a ferry bound in Wales for Rosslare after the murder of 18-year-old Jamie Maya. It was reported that Maya and then 16-year-old Kine Priestley were set upon and kicked, punched and stabbed with a sword in relation to a drug gang turf dispute in the Armley area of Leeds. The four suspects were arrested by Gardaí in Ireland in relation to a petty theft but were released without charge. The Yorkshire Post reported that the four used fake names while in Ireland. My surprise. See, I've been saying this all along. Regarding the asylum process in Ireland, we know for a fact that 87% of asylum seekers arriving into Ireland are destroying passports. We don't know who they are. This is a national security issue. Continuing, Gript contacted in Garda Síochána in relation to the arrest of the four men in this jurisdiction. At the time of publication, we are yet to receive a response and will update this article in due course. Three of the men, Caleb Awe, Aqua Jeffers and Enham Nishat, remain at large, while Rani Wilkes gave himself in after a year on the run and is on trial before Leeds Crown Court this week. Now 23, Wilkes turned himself into the police after arriving back in the UK on a flight from Turkey. Wilkes is charged in relation to the murder of Maya, the attempted murder of Priestley, as well as possession of a blade. West Yorkshire police said they believe that all three are living in hiding overseas and that they are continuing to attempt to locate them with the assistance of the Crown Prosecution Service. Look, I would say they're still in Ireland. So our children are at risk here, our women, our men. These three criminals who are probably in Ireland right now, they were in Ireland, they were arrested by the Gardaí. The Gardaí let them go because they didn't know who they were. They were using fake names. When I say our borders are wide open, this is exactly what I mean here. This isn't the first time that mass murderers have fled to Ireland because Ireland is known as a soft touch. Ireland will look after criminals. They'll look after criminals before they look after their own Irish people. On the day of the murder of Jamie Maya, he and Kine Priestley had taken a taxi to a location in Armley to meet some drug customers. When the vehicle the teenagers were travelling in arrived at its destination, four men got out of a waiting Mercedes, with the taxi driver testifying that Wilkes was carrying a bladed instrument between 3 and 4 feet long. The attack that followed was described as a vicious, sustained, barbaric and brutal assault by the prosecution. The two victims had attempted to escape in the taxi, were dragged from the vehicle where Marsh sustained fatal injuries, including the severing of the femoral artery. He ran from the scene to raise alarm but lost consciousness before emergency services arrived, according to the BBC. Although Priestley also sustained stab wounds, his injuries were not life-threatening. Last November, detectives investigating the murder Maya renewed their appeal for information on the day his family marked the first birthday of the baby son he never met. My God. Senior Investigating Officer Detective Inspector Damien Rubeck said, "We are continuing to carry out extensive inquiries to trace Jeffers, Awe and Nishat and remain determined to keep everything we can to get justice for Jamie's family." So there you go. What a brutal murder that young fella went through, and the four criminals, four murderers, they went to Ireland. Our borders are wide open. We need to close our borders. Look after our own people, look after the Irish people, look after our Irish women and children who are at risk here. We've seen it too. Our young children getting stabbed up in Dublin by foreign nationals. This has to end. Our borders are wide open. We are not the dumping ground. We're not a third world dumping ground, but we are turning into it, aren't we? Well, there's not a peep from the mainstream media, right? And January, right? This January marks the 5th year anniversary of our party newspaper, the Irish Patriot. You know, I'm very, very proud of our paper. We've distributed, I don't know exactly, but roughly as close to 500,000 newspapers of all our issues. in the past 5 years. I'm very grateful to everybody who supported our newspaper, anybody who's handed out our newspaper all over Ireland, at their protests in the towns, put them through letterboxes, left them in churches. We're very, very grateful and honoured that we've been able to keep this going. It's now that time again where we need to raise funds for the next issue of our very own newspaper, the Irish Patriot. That's one of the issues there. It's the only Irish nationalist newspaper in the whole island of Ireland. Now, we want 50,000 newspapers printed. And, for example, we'll be covering a story about the 4 murderers who fled the UK, came to Ireland, are now roaming the streets. It's our job to tell the truth. The mainstream media are not doing their job, so we must cover what's happening. And, you have to understand too, a lot of people are not on social media. A lot of the older people are not on social media, so we need to get through to them other ways. And the Irish Patriot newspaper is the best way. And we have, over the past 5 years, developed a very tight-knit, highly motivated distribution team all over Ireland. Now, I want a distribution team in every single town, and eventually we will get there. But we need to keep pushing forward now. But unfortunately, look, I can't do this on my own. The reason that there is only one Irish nationalist newspaper in the whole island of Ireland, our paper, the Irish Patriot newspaper, is because you support it, you fund it. And again, we need support every single issue. Unfortunately, this issue, we're struggling quite a bit. But I'm hoping people listening to the stream will support me. There's a link in the description to support it. Anybody who's listened to my stream the past number of years know we get the newspaper out there. We're true to our word. Once the newspaper comes in, I spend days on end packaging up newspapers, sending it out in the post to our distributors. Now, we do sell it as well, but we give a lot of the newspapers out to our distributors to put them through letterboxes to bring the truth to the Irish people. Now, we need to raise as much funds as possible to get to our target. I can't remember, it was like just over €3,000, I think, is what we need to get this newspaper printed. If you want to chip in, there's a link below this video, newspaper fundraiser, I think it's called. Chip into our campaign. If you can chip in €10, great. If you can chip in more, even better. Now, there's a monthly button too if you want to set up a monthly donation. That helps us as well. Really, really important to get the newspaper out there.